This was at around the time where I had my own place at the time and I wasn't living with my grandmother anymore. I moved out when I was like 25 or 26. This was around 2017, I believe, when I moved out. S- So it's like when I stopped uh coming around her, when I stopped communicating with her, she would get upset that we don't call her anymore or we don't hang around with her anymore because we got our own life. She didn't like the fact that we got our own life. So that's where it becomes the issue when it came to me and my brother. We didn't like the fact that she always wanna interfere with me and my brother got going on. She always want to know everything what me and him got going on. And there was a lot of times where we don't tell my grandmother everything. We give her a half-ass truth. And then there were times where I would give her a runaround and I didn't want to tell her everything about what I've been up to or what I've been doing. She'd be calling me all kinds of odd hours. Even during the time where I was working at Home Depot for 5 years, she would kept calling me, calling me, calling me on my job. And there were times where my boss didn't like the fact that why my grandmother keep calling me, and she would interfere with my work, even though I don't work there anymore. But she would interfere in everything that I got going on, and there were a lot of times where she'll use money in any situation when it came to me and my brother. She'll use it as leverage. She'll use it against me later on, talking about, "Oh, I did this for you, or I did that for you." Well, I just never really truly understand. Like, why is she so focused on about what she did for somebody? Who cared of what you did? Who cared about what you did before? Nobody cares. That's the problem with people. Like, you're leaning with your wallet. And that's what she was doing. She was leaning with her wallet. That's why she always getting used. She did the same thing with my daughter. She did the same thing with her daughter. Like she was leaning with her wallet. And that's why every time she kept giving her money over and over and over and over again, you kept giving it, giving it, giving it, giving it, giving it. The more you kept doing that, the more she kept getting used. And then what happened is, as soon as my mother get that money, she'll ghost her for a year. She'll stop talking to her for a year, and they never spoke to each other for maybe 1 or 2 years. Like they never really had a full connection or a conversation. Um, I never truly realized why my mother never talked to her anymore like that. I think there's a reason why, because it had a lot to do with what my grandmother did to her. And my grandmother wasn't going in detail. She wasn't telling the full story of why my mother stopped talking to her. And I finally realized something. I find it interesting. She'll antagonize her, and then she'll complain about how my mother is not helping her out, or she doesn't come around. She doesn't bring her food. But the whole time when my mom wasn't around, you were saying a lot of pretty fucked up things about her, saying how Tanya was better than your daughter. That's what you said out of your mouth. You said Tanya was better than your daughter. You kept comparing Tanya to your daughter. And my mom may not know about this, but that's what you were doing. And you did the same thing to me too. You would compare Daniel Latimer to me. Look, here's the thing about Daniel Latimer. He may have book smart, but he doesn't have street smart. I have both. He only has one. So that's the difference between me and Daniel. There's no comparison between me and him. So I never truly understand why my grandma would compare me to other people. Like I hate the fact that why anybody would compare me. No, there's only one Brandon on this earth. You're not gonna get another Brandon. Cause once I'm dead and gone, that's it. Like there's no other Brandon like me. So I'm just throwing that out there. I'm just keeping it real. And now back to the whole thing about the money thing. she used money as leverage. I guarantee you this. There was a lot of time I never asked her for money, and I never beg her or call her or ask her, "Oh, give me this amount, give me this amount." No, I never did that. That never happened. She'll spoil me with earrings. She'll spoil me with trips. She'll spoil me going to the mall and buy me sneakers or video games or stuff like that. S- she'll spoil me buying giving me $1,000 to get a new bed. She'll spoil me with clothes. She'll spoil me with trips and vacation. And then later on, she'll use it as leverage, saying that, "Oh, I spent all this money on you. Oh, I did this for you. Oh, I did that for you. Oh, you remember what I did? Oh, you remember I did this? Now you gotta do something for me." And then I'm looking at it like, just because you did all this stuff for me doesn't mean I owe you anything. I don't know why she think that just because you did all this stuff for me, you think I owe you anything. I don't owe you nothing. Like, if I did something for somebody, it's because I'm looking out for you and I don't expect nothing in return from you. That's just the kind of person I am. But with her, you gotta do this for her. She want this done right now. Like, and I started to realize, oh man, oh, this is not good. This is nothing but a transactional. This is a transactional relationship. Oh, I can't do it. I don't want this. So I stopped talking to her. I stopped communicating with her. I stopped texting her altogether. And then she'll get mad that um, when she can't get nothing from me anymore, and when she's not getting attention from me anymore, and she'll feel powerless because she'll feel like here's the thing: she wants to end the relationship before you do it. That's the thing with her. She doesn't want to be. She doesn't want you to be the one to do it to end anything with her. She want to end it before you do. Once she get what she want, she'll talk you to the side, or she'll talk you, or she'll talk you like you're useless, like you're like a piece of trash or a litter that you throwing on the ground, like a potato chip or a can of soda. That's how she look at you. And once she got what she needed out of you, she'll talk you to the side like you're nothing. That's the type of woman she is. That's what I learned all these years. What type of woman she was. And I realized that, yeah, okay, well, this relationship ain't working. So I had to cut her off. I have to leave my old hometown. I move across the city. She doesn't know where I'm at, and she doesn't need to know. Because it's none of her concern, not her business. I mean, what does it matter? We don't have a relationship anymore, so I don't even know why it even concern her or why that even matter where I'm at. So, so with that being said, I do wish her the best though. But as far as the relationship, I'm good.